Look at how beautiful this is. What's up, everybody? This is your Keto Chef Rob. Today I'm gonna make you a sandwich. All right, sandwich is pretty easy, but what's important in this recipe is the bread, and I'm showing you a really easy way to make bread. We're getting rid of xanthan gum, yeast, sugar, any crazy ingredients. We're boiling it down to the basics. I'm showing you how to make an easy loaf of bread. So, without further ado, let's do this. For those of you who are tracking macros, I went out and I got myself a scale so that in my recipes in the description, I can measure out ingredients by weight to help you more accurately track your macros. So keto bread, we're adding a ton of eggs. It's almost closer to a souffle than it is anything else. So we're gonna add a bunch of eggs to the bowl here. I'm gonna use a stand mixer to mix this up, so I'm throwing it in here. And then I'm gonna add some hot butter and coconut oil. I like the balance between butter and coconut oil so that it doesn't have too much coconut flavor in our bread. And we're gonna dump it right into the eggs. Now you wanna be careful, let the butter cool down before you add it to the eggs, or you're gonna end up with scrambled eggs, and that's gross. Now at this point, we wanna get a electric hand mixer or a whisk or a stand mixer like I have, and just give this a quick mix until it runs through with a fork. Okay, now it's time to start adding the dry ingredients, and I've been working on the ratios for quite a while now. I've been making keto bread for about 3 years. We're not adding any crazy ingredients, no xanthan gum, psyllium husk, or anything like that. Baking powder is gonna be our leavening agent. Not baking soda, baking powder. We're gonna add a little bit of salt, and I'm using kosher salt here. Yeah, so we're using almond flour here, and I don't like the brown almond flour with like the skin still on it, so I get blanched almond flour, and I try to get it as fine as possible. Also to that, I'm gonna add some coconut flour. Coconut flour is very fine, but it's got a lot of flavor, so I feel a ratio between the two of these, like the one I have in the recipe, is perfect. Okay, finally dump all that into the stand mixer. Mix it all up, don't over mix it, just so that everything is smooth. And now it's time to get a loaf pan. Now there's more to a loaf pan than you think. A glass or a ceramic one holds a lot of heat, so you actually have to change the time and temperature on your oven. I usually prefer a metal loaf pan because it's gonna give you a very thin crust around your bread. I go heavy here with the grease. I'm just using some ghee. Now we're gonna pop this into our preheated oven. Now times might vary for you depending on your humidity level, elevation, whether you have a convection oven or not. So the best way to do it is to go about 10 minutes back from what I have listed in the description. Take a toothpick or a skewer and run it through the middle of your bread. And then once it comes out clean, that's when you know it's time to take it out. And once you do take it out, please let it rest. Let it cool completely, okay? Otherwise it's gonna stick to the side of the pans. The inside's still gonna be steaming hot. It's gonna end up being a mess. Remember, this is close to a souffle. Souffles can crash and collapse in on themselves. So let this rest. And once it's rested, look at how beautiful this is. I promise you, if I slice this and put it next to a loaf of regular bread, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference by looking at it. Today, I'm gonna make you an Italian sandwich. First thing first, we're gonna start with a slice of keto bread, some pepperoni, some pastrami, some Italian capicola, a little bit of spinach, some onions, yes, a little bit of homemade Italian dressing on top of that. We're gonna put a big smear of whole grain mustard on the other piece of bread. Thank you all for watching. Keep it keto, stay healthy. Peace.